you're having a wonderful week so far. And we are coming at you today talking about video again. We want to touch base today on best practices on video. Last week we kind of talked about the why.
Right.
And this week we want to touch on some do's and some don'ts of video marketing.
Correct. And only a few, because there's a lot.
There's so many. And one of the things we like to suggest to people, and this is just best practices. This isn't always going to work for every video.
No.
But we do recommend that you keep videos that you upload under 5 minutes long. Now, again, we don't always keep these under 5 minutes long because we've got a lot to say.
Right.
It's packed full of a lot of good content, but we do try to keep them pretty short and to the point. So, we recommend that Facebook Lives be under 10 minutes if possible. Again, unless you're live streaming an event or something like to that effect. But if you're just on your phone chatting with people on a live stream, 10 minutes is probably plenty.
Yeah.
So,
and there again, there's always exceptions.
Yeah.
There's a Facebook Live that I watch or have been watching every morning that's 30 minutes, but it's a planned 30 minutes.
Right.
It's planned out. It's not just
rambling for 30 minutes.
Yeah, random chatting.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually work well.
No.
You tend to lose people.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. People get very distracted a lot of times, I
Yes.
notice, on Facebook Lives, and they start reading the comments and trying to reply to all the comments. And sometimes that works and it's very fun and interactive, but sometimes on the playback that gets really lost in translation.
It gets strange when somebody's constantly stopping what they're saying because they're then staring at the screen like this, trying to read comments, and they can't quite read it, and comments start coming in too fast.
Yeah.
Then they only get half a comment. So
it can get a little messy.
want to run an ad on Facebook, keep it to under 15 seconds. If it's over 15 seconds, you can still run it as a video ad. You just can't run it as an in-stream ad. And what that means is, all the fun, like puppy videos that you watch or whatever that are set up to be monetized. So they allow for ads to be run inside of them so that they get money for it also. If your ad's longer than 15 seconds, it will not work as one of those ads.
Right.
So.
For Instagram, so that was all Facebook. Instagram, you can do up to an hour live. Again, we don't really recommend you go that long unless you have a very specific purpose on what you are doing.
Right.
For your story, you can have up to 15 minutes of video and or photography in your story. That doesn't mean it's 15 minutes straight though. I mean, you can technically go 15 minutes straight, but it's usually little short clips of video. And for your post, it has to be under a minute long. So those are kind of the standards for that. And I think those are pretty good standards to kind of keep people engaged.
Yep.
Like I said, the hour gets a little long unless there's a specific purpose. But otherwise, those minimums really, or maximums, really keep people engaged.
Right.
Keep it short. So just in general, make sure your videos work without sound. Again, this isn't going to work for all of them. Facebook Lives,
Right.
they're not going to work without sound probably. Your Instagram Lives are probably not going to work without sound.
Right.
And this type of video is probably not the best type of video to do without sound.
Correct.
But there are lots of other advertisements or whatever that you can put captions on that are going to work really well without sound.
And Facebook is making it easier and easier. They do give you an option after you upload a video and it analyzes your video that it will put captions with it, and then you can go in and edit it. Sometimes Facebook gets it right on the money. Sometimes they translate it into Lord only knows what they think you're saying, but it's not accurate. Yeah.
So those are good things. YouTube's been doing that for a long time too, being able to put those captions in there, which is really nice for many different reasons. Obviously, for watching it without the sound on, because a lot of people are multi-device people. They watch TV while looking at their phone, or they're in a meeting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It may not be multi-device. It may be multitasking.
Yes.
You're in a boring meeting and you're watching a video on your phone while you are pretending to do something else.
Right. So
I've never done that.
make sure your videos can be watched without sound
Right.
for those purposes. And it's just also nice for like ADA compliance and that kind
Right.
of stuff as well.
Right.
We always have said, you know, not everybody's going to watch your video without audio.
Right.
Video quality is very important to your video. If you're going to have your video watched, you want good video quality, you want good lighting, you want it to look nice. People are much quicker, though, to forgive poor video quality than they are to forgive poor audio quality. If they can't hear you or understand you, or it sounds really echoey and weird, they're going to stop watching much quicker than they'd stop watching if you had poor video quality.
Right.
So that is very imperative as well.
One last thing that I would add is, and this is not, we have a list here in front of us that we're reading off of so we don't forget anything. One last thing that I would add, which just occurred to me as we're doing this and we're looking at the camera to talk, it's real difficult to try and record for 2 different live streams at the same time.
Ooh, I have seen very few people do that well. I think I've seen one person in the history of people do it well.
Yep, I have seen no people in the history of people do it well, so you're doing better than I am.
Wow.
Because you have to use 2 devices.
Yes.
You don't know which device to look at. Obviously, they can't be, even if they're set one on top of each other, you're still looking from up and down and up and down. They like to autofocus. It's a disaster in the making.
Yeah.
So the people that I know who do Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives and all of that will typically set a time and say we're going to be Facebook Live at 12:30, we'll be Instagram Live at 2:30. But that's something to think about, because it is distracting for the viewer as well if they're trying to figure out, like, what is Lacy looking at? Why does she keep looking above the camera or below the camera or whatever? It's distracting, and it never goes well.
It doesn't. It doesn't. So that's what we've got for you today. If you have any questions, or if you have some good tips for people on their video for social media or online marketing, drop us a comment. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.